Oh, yeah. Okay. So the Dharma Shastras are designed by the holy rishis of Bharata, that is to give health and longevity of the public, and this the king and kingdom of the country, in each country in Bharata, they followed this strictly for the future prosperous and healthy life of the public. The structure of executing or implementing of the practice were very strict. Each and everybody followed this, and the kingdom and the rulers were very strict about this one. And that's why Bharatiya dharmas and everything is called as Sanatana Dharma. Because by practicing Sanatana Dharma, then only we can attain the moksha. Shaujam, already I told, this is personal and social hygiene according to Dharma Shastras. Next, what is the importance of the Shauja? Human body, already I told that it is made up of Panchabhutas. The whole universe is made up of Panchabhutas. According to Ayurveda, the name of or the definition of Sharira is Shiryade Anena Idi Shariram. Every day it is destroying cell by cell, and at the same time new cells are developing and growing. And the balance of the growth and also the destruction of the cells is called the Sharira. And it is made up of Panchabhutas. And the prana is in our body, and this prana is protected very properly with very important clear and concentration. Then only we can live. In this one, the Shauja is very important. Shauja means the cleaning of the body and the mind. So now we are going to the Dharma Shastra based hygiene keeping, Acharya's hygiene keeping methods. In this, first one is Snanam. Snanam is taking bath. It is with a water bath. Next is Dhumam. Dhuma means Dhubam, and it is fumigation with a fungicidal or disinfectant materials. Next is washing the clothes. We have to wash the clothes every day or alternative days according to your convenience. Next is washing the vessels. By washing the vessels, we can purify the vessels and we can keep our food materials and also the other materials and food preparation materials. Next is housekeeping. Housekeeping means not only the personal hygiene but also your kudumba hygiene or house hygiene. Hygiene is very important in healthy aspects. Next is toileting, motion and urine. While coming to snana, it clears the entire body, it washes the entire body, and it also removes the waste material and also dust particles and other foreign body particles you received while you are doing any vyavahara or means outside works or inside works. Dhubam means actually it is to keep your body free from the bacteria and viruses, and according to Ayurveda it is Buddha and Graha Badas. And we wear clothes that is to protect the body from heat and wind and also mist, but at the same time it also protects from harmful sunlight rays and also the bacteria and viruses which we can get from the outside. Washing the vessels. Every day you have to wash the vessels according to the need with traditional detergent and also the washing materials. Housekeeping is also another method. Already I told this. Next, importance of Shauja. It's already told that human body is a Panchabhuta made material. Next, okay. Next, Shauja we can classify Shauja, Vyaktigata Shauja, and Kudumba Shauja, and Samuhiga Shauja. And this Vyaktigata Shauja means it is personal hygiene. A person should keep his body very clean and calm and quiet and free of waste materials. And Kudumba Shauja is the family hygiene. In a family, there will be parents, grandfathers, grandmothers, and also the children, babies. And also, along with this, we in our house, cows, goats, sheep, and also the pet animals were there. We have to do shauja on them also to get healthy, long life, because animals are living together with in ancient India. They were living very near to our house, so we have to keep their hygiene also. And in Samuhya Shauja, it is social Shauja. We have to keep our surroundings, our village, our next thing is this, our Grama and Patana, or our township and the kingdom. There are a lot of Dharma Shastra Granthas available in the in complete form nowadays also, because these Dharma Shastras are written minimum 3,500 years back. Some of the Dharma Shastra Granthas available nowadays also. First one is the Baudhayanam. Baudhayanam is the very important Grantha of Dharma Shastra. Still it is available. You can read it and you can understand the topics. Next is Abhastambha Smriti or Abhastambha Dharma Shastra, which also gives almost the same of the Baudhayana. There are some difference only, rest of the things are very same. Next is Katyayana Smriti. It also gives near about 70 slokas are 70 chapters and slokas are there. Next is Vasishta Dharma Shastra. It's very important. In India, we follow Vasishta's school of thoughts. And next is Gautama Smriti. It is also very important. Some group of acharyas or some group of scholars follow Gautama Smriti. And next is Harida Dharma Shastra. It is another rich classical text regarding this Dharma Shastra Smriti. Next is Hiranyakeshi. Hiranyakeshi is another classical books regarding this Dharma Shastra Granthas. Next is Vyavanasa Smriti. It is also another important Grantha available. You can purchase this from the market. Next is the Hiranyakeshi. Already I told this. Next is Manusmriti. Everybody is well much aware about this book, Manusmriti. We get very details of the Dharma Shastras from Manusmriti. Next is the Vishnu Dharma Shastra. Very important text. We get the practice of the code and conduct from this one, and also next one is the Artha Shastra. Artha Shastra is very important thing, and it is deals with the economics, Dhanatattva Shastra, and also the economical status of the country, and this book is also available. But some of the books or Dharma Shastras are incomplete. We get only portion or partial parts of this from the text. And in this Atri Smriti or Atri Dharma Shastra, Ushana Shastra, and Kanno Shastra, and also Gargya, and also Chavana Smriti, and Jadugara Smriti, and also Deva, and also Paidinisha, and also Brihaspati, Bharadwaja. All these texts are not fully recovered. Only portion of this text or Dharma Shastra Granthas are available. But for a study purpose or a research purpose, you can use this. Next is Vedas and Upanishads. Actually, all the knowledge started from the Vedas. According to some acharyas or some scholars, there are 108 munis or the rishis. They narrated or they wrote the Vedas, and the Veda Vyasa, he segregated the knowledge of the Vedas into 4 texts like Rik, Yajus, Samam, and Atharvas. And what are the importance of the Vedas means? Vedas are direct fact-telling methods. There is no detailed description. It's only the fact or highly concentrated. And by very strain, or if you are a scholar or an expert in that subject, then only you can understand this with the help of a guru. So Vedas are direct fact-telling or truth-telling texts, but Upanishads are detailing of the Veda concept with examples and stories. So we can say it is little bit diluted or simplified form of the Vedas. There are a lot of story occasions and also explanations. Sorry. But Puranas are stories, mythologies, and it is all these Puranas and also the Upanishads are based on the Vedas and Dharma Shastras. Mahabharata is the most important Idihasa, epic ever in the world. And the importance of the Mahabharata means there are, according to experts, they tell that there are 38 story situations in the world. Only 38 story situations. And all these situations are very deeply described in Mahabharata. There are philosophies, there are sentiments, there are violence, there are sex, and also there are a lot of knowledge information situation, and everything still we are following or which we are doing. All these situations are mentioned in the Mahabharata and also in the Ramayana. Next, I am coming to Shauja directly. Shauja is divided into three: Swatiga, Rajasa, and Tamasa. Total purification of the body mind is the Swatiga. If a person can clean his mind and also his body by different methods, then only he can achieve or attain the Swatiga level of Shauja. In Swatiga level of Shauja, he can gain more knowledge, more informations, and later he can attain the Parabrahma contact or Parabrahma moksha or mukti. But in Rajasa, it will be not fully purifications. It is not full purification, but it is half purification. And because he is not following the fully things, because he is also using dusted or polluted dresses and Rajasa foods like spicy foods and Madhya and all these types of things. And in Tamasa, he never can attain the 100% Shauja. Next, already I told Vyaktigata Shauja, Kudumba Shauja, and the Samuhiga Shauja. If a Sattviga person is going to a Shauja area in a Kudumba Shauja with Rajasa, then his Sattviga Shauja he cannot keep properly. And the same person, Sattviga person, is going to a Samuhiga Shauja or social Shauja area, then there will be chances of his impurities or his purity will come down to the Rajasa level. So a person, when he is living in a social situation, his Sattviga, maintaining of the Sattviga level of Shauja is not easy. Next, already I told this, what are the Vyaktigata Shauja, how we can attain the Vyaktigata Shauja, personal hygiene. First one is the Snana, taking bath every day. Next, Navadwara Shuddhi. Yeah, he can take bath morning and evening, but at the same time, in between, he want to clean his Navadaras. Navadaras means eyes, nose, then ears, then mouth, then urethra, and also the anus. These are the Navadaras. Next, Tok Shuddhi or skin wellness and cleaning. Because sweat is coming or Sweda is coming out of the body through the skin. So frequently we have to clean the body by water or snana. Another purification Vyakti Shauja is Kesha Mundana or hair cutting. According to Ayurveda, Acharyas like Sushruta, every 14 days or Paksha week, we want to do the Kesha Mundana. Next is Nakha Chedana, that means cutting the nails properly, and this should be done every week or twice, once in a Paksha or twice in 14 days. Next one is Danda Dhavana. Danda Dhavana means dental hygiene. It is cleaning the or toothbrush, with the help of a toothbrush you want to clean your teeth and danda. According to Ayurveda, Negrodhu Dumbara Ashwata, and there are a description about the danda davana. You have to use the stick of the woods with the tikta and light ushna rasa, and you take 12 angula with the length, and also you want to crush the tip of the stick and use that as a brush for danda davana. Next, mental hygiene. Mental hygiene means mental purification. I will describe again. There are another statement is by the Dharma Shastra Gandha for personal shaujya or personal hygiene. You can use water. In Panchabhutas, water you can use, pure water you can use for the purification of the body. Second thing is the soil. Suppose on the way, or suppose you are in a travel, suppose you are not easy to get the water, then after urination you can use mankatta or the solid soils for removing the impurities from your body. Next is the Agni. Agni means heating. You can use heating methods and also hot applications for cleaning the body. So in Panchabhutas, mainly water, soil and Agni are used for this. But again, Vayu, if Ushna Vayu is given to into vessels or otherwise the clothes, that also you can use for the purification. For Shauja, water is the most preferable material for human beings, but other things also you can use. Next is the mental hygiene. According to Dharma Shastras and Smridhis, mental hygiene is very important. First one is the spiritual knowledge. Knowledge about self-understanding and also the Parabrahma understanding. That means you study your body, what is your body first, sorry, how much you can eat, how much you can drink, what are the food items beneficial for your body, what are the drinking materials you can use, what are the dravadravas you can take, and all these things you want to understand. Next, what are the materials in your area or surrounded by your area. You select that food materials for your food and also for your daily processing things. Next is Vrada. Vrada means totally you are concentrating or arpana into your mind and body into divine. That means to the God, or otherwise in karma you concentrate fully on some particular things, then only you can get the concentration and the attainment of the ecstasy or the moksha. Next is supporting thing is upavasa. That means roughly we can say upavasa is fasting, but upavasikika means stay with some god or otherwise do some karma fully with mind. Next is satsanga. You always stay with holy people or otherwise holy gurus or otherwise in temple gurus or purohitas or brahmins. That means those people have the well-defined knowledge about everything. Next is dhanya. That means dhanya means simply sitting and you are doing the taba and you are concentrating in some particular subjects or parabrahma. Next is yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutra are there. There are the techniques. Next is the Shatchakra practice. There are 6 chakras in our body. First one is the Mooladhara. Next is the Swadhisthana. Next is the Manipuraga. Next is the Anahata, next is the Vishuddhi, next is the Ajna Chakra, next is the Sahasrahara. You practice Shadchakra practice, then your spiritual capacity, mental capacity will increase. Next is regular worshipping in temples. If a common man, a layman, it is not possible, if it is not possible to practice all the above told things, then he can practice daily go and worship in the temples. That also good for mental hygiene. Sorry. Next, different types of snana mentioned in the Dharma Shastras. What is snana? Snana means bath, already I told. There are two types, or time on basis of the time, there are two types of snana. First one is Pradha Snana, and next is the Sandhya Snana. Pradha Snana means just before the sunrise, or at the time of the, or just before the Brahma Muhurta, or the time of the Brahma Muhurta, because Pradha means everything is going to start. That is the Pradha meaning, and you have to start the or complete your snana before sunrise, and then you can do your routine works. So this will stimulate your mind and brain and your body to do the works. Next is the Sandhya Snana. Sandhya Snana, after doing the daytime works, your karma, your duties, your profession, then your body may be with a lot of dust and waste, and your mind will be tired. So in that condition, snana you can practice. And what are the different types of snana mentioned in the Purana, in this Dharma Shastras and the Puranas? First one is the Varuna Snana, that is with bathing with lukewarm water. You can use Varuna Snana, or otherwise ordinary water you can use. Next is Agneya Snana, that is you can use cow dung ash or basmas after taking water bath. So in some special conditions you can use additionally the basma pasting or lebana all over the body after taking water bath. Next is Vayaviya Snana, that is wind bath. After taking water bath you can again do wind bath, that means aeration, and there are some lakshanas are given. And if the tail of the cow is moving in a particular motion, then you must understand you have to practice the Vayavya Snana. Next is Prokshana Snana. Prokshana Snana means it is sprinkling of just sprinkling water. If a person is not okay, he is traveling, if Ganga Jala or pure water is there and it is the time of the Sandhya Snana, then you can sprinkle your on your body with purified water. Next is Mantra Snana, or chanting the mantras in birthday and all other occasions. In that condition, suppose the birthday, along with the Snana, water Snana, you have to do the Mantra Snana. Next is Divya Snana. This is practiced by the saints or the rishis. Suppose in a daytime, along with the rain and sunrise is coming, then that is they consider this is a auspicious time. So they go to the rain and they enjoy at the same time sunrise and also the rainwater. So at a time body cleansing, and also we get the energy from the sunlight. That is Divya Snana. Gauna Snana is the next one. It is bath below the neck in diseased condition. If a person is not okay to take bath, head bath, in that condition he can practice just below the neck area with suitable water or medicated water. Next is Kabila Snana. In this condition, even if a person is diseased, in that condition, just sponging or with the help of a turkey or a cloth, excuse that dipping in water, then you can use for cleaning your body. Next is Nityasana. This is for layman or ordinary people or Grihastha. It is daily bath. He want to take daily bath. There is no need of further mantra or any other basma or nothing. Just he can take a bath from the river or otherwise from the well or otherwise from the ponds. Next is the Naimittika Snana, bath after solar and lunar eclipses. That means after the Surya Grahana or the Chandra Grahana, each and everybody want to take bath after one muhurta or two muhurta. So this will destroy or remove the doshas or the poisons or the dushi visha, whatever the body they received. Next is Kamya Snana. In this, usually we go and practice Ganga Snana, or otherwise Kumbh Mela like special occasions we take Kamya Snana. That is to get Kamya, that means which we are desiring, that we will get after practicing this Kumbha Snana or Ganga Snana. Next is Kriyanga Snana after Pidur Puja. That means Shraddha. Everybody want to do Snana after putting the Shraddha and Bali. Next is the Malaharsha Snana. It is oil bath. After taking oil smearing or Abhyanga in Ayurveda, especially in some special occasions like the Sankranti, that's the Sankrama, and also in the healthy person, in some ridus they want to take oil bath. Next is the Kriya Snana, taking bath in river and ponds in every day or some special occasions. Next is Kshetra Snana, before entering into the temple. Mostly the temples are very near to rivers, lakes, or otherwise there will be special temple ponds. So you make shuddhi your body by taking bath from there. Next is Chira Snana. It is in some special occasions, especially at the occasion of the oath taking of the king, or otherwise in some special auspicious occasion. Kshira is milk, cow milk, pure cow milk is used for the bath. Next is Dhuli Snana, that is with soil from the cow hoof. If you are not in a position to take water bath, then you can use the powder from the hoof area or the soil from that area you can take and you can use for purification. It is Dhuma Snana. It is fumigation in a room or with dhumas. Snana before food. Outside working people coming back to take the food, that means breakfast, lunch or the dinner, they want to strictly take Snana purification. Otherwise there will be chances of infection, indigestion and so many other health problems. After food, Vaigunya or otherwise indigestion and other type of problems. Indigestion, next is a urinary tract infection, burning micturition, and in ladies there will be astisrava. Next is Snana in Ridus. According to the Ridus, in Varsha Ridu, it is very cold, so hot water bath is applicable. Next is Sharad Ridu or autumn, then in that condition, medium water or mild cold water you can use for Snana. Next is Hemanta Ridu. In Hemanta Ridu, lukewarm water, because that climate is little bit cold, so you can use lukewarm water. And in Shirisha or winter season, you can use hot water. And next, Vasanta, normal temperature or ordinary water, you can use fresh water. Next, in Grishma, cold water you can use for Snana. Next is Snana in Ayurveda concept. In Ayurveda, in Sutrasthana, Swastha is a good topic, and major part of Ayurveda is concentrating on Swastha. That means prevention of the diseases, social and prevention methods. So in that, Snana is specially indicated. You can go through the text like Charaka Samhita and also the Susura Samhita, Ashtanga Hridaya. So you will get the idea of the Snana, what are the benefits of the Snana. In this one, it indicates, suppose you take Snana properly, then it will be Dibana, that means it will improve your appetite. And Vrishya, it always stimulates sexual desires. And Ayushya, that means longevity. You can long time, Ayura Arogya Saukyam through this Snana. Next, urja. That means you will get a fresh energy. That means your body will become fresh. So you can use that urjam for the purpose of creation or karma. Next is balapradam. Balapradam means your body will become stout and it is very strong. That is balapradam. And also there are some other indications. Snana, it alleviates. That means it subsides or clear kandu. That means itching, irritations, skin irritations. Next, mala means sweat and also other waste impurities received from the outside or inside your house. Next, srama, that means tiredness, weakness. You feel fresh after snana. Next is sweda, that means you can remove your sweat, which later, not immediately, after few minutes or after half an hour, it may develop. There will be development of chances of the development of the bacteria and virus in the skin. Next, pitta or hotness, your body become cool and this reduce pitta. Contraindication of snana according to Ayurveda, it is ardhida. If you have facial paralysis or one side paralysis, then it is better to avoid snana. Next is netra rogas. Next is asya rogas, that is mouth diseases. Next is karna rogas. Next is adhisaram, that means diarrhea. In all these conditions, it is contraindicated generally, and according to the style of the disease, as per the physician, you can ban or restrict this snana. And already I told that in ardhida and also in most of the vada rogas, 80 type of vada vigaras are there. In that condition also, it is better to avoid snana. And there is a snana mantra in the Dharma Shastras. Before taking the bath, if you can practice this snana mantra, then you will get more benefits. And actually, the snana mantra is about the Vishnu, and actually we are practicing or chanting this to attain or to stimulate or to get the energy from the Vishnu. Apavitram pavitrova sarvastha gadobivaya smarade pundarigachyam sabahyabyandara shuji Sri Harir Harir pundarigachyam namaha. This is the sloga we get from the Dharma Shastras about the snana mantra. Already I told this is for to get importance of the Vishnu energy, and I will explain this more in the coming portions. And next is the Garuda Purana. It is a very important Purana, and in this Purana there are classification of water. The same thing also we get from the Ayurveda, that is classification of water. First one is the rainwater. It's called Gangambu in Ayurveda. Water we are getting from the rain, and already the first few rainwater is not good because there will be dust and pollutions in the air. So it is the first rainwater will be contaminated, and there will be chances of some acid, and this will make problems to the body. So it is better to avoid first few days rainwater, but after that you can use the rainwater for cleaning the body, and it is called Gangambu in Ayurveda. Next is the mountain water, that is getting from the mountain, which we get regularly through the rivers. Next, the spring water, that means pure and clear water from the springs, and not polluted and aerated because it is flowing and it is sprinkling and sparkling. Then it is aerated, so the oxygen percentage in the water will be very high. So this give, suppose you drink a spring water, a glass of spring water, then this give you very good freshness. Next is pond water. That pond water means you can take water for drinking ponds and also for washing ponds and also for snana ponds, that means bath ponds. Next is sea water. Sea water, some rare conditions we use sea water for bathing. Properties and qualities of seawater are mentioned in the Ayurveda. It is very rucha, and which gives a roughness, but it's good for reducing the obesity. If a person is taking everyday bath in seawater, then there will be chances of reducing the obesity, because due to through the osmosis, the water from the body is going out from our body, as like we are putting the mangoes in saline water for preparing the pickles. So the water from the body is so from the mangoes are going out, and this gives shrinkage. Next is Tirthadana. Tirthadana is a big topic in most of the Puranas, and also you can see this in the Upanishads, and also in Mahabharata, like classical Idihasa text. Tirthadana is there. Tirtha means holy water, holy rivers, then holy lakes, and also holy ponds are considered as Tirtham. The relevance of Tirthadana means, suppose you travel and take snana according to the directions of the Acharyas. So your mind, body will be purified. Your body can be cooled down, and also you can clear the body, waste materials and everything you can clear. Next one is the mental purification. Totally you can clear the mental purification. That means a type of energy, spiritual energy will develop. In Mahabharata, there are a lot of occasions the Pandavas, they took different types of Tirthadanas in various occasions. Next is bonding relationship with the family members. Mostly the Tirthadana is conducted by a family group or otherwise relatives, and so there will be a bonding method. Their relationship will become very strong and solid. Rameshwara Sedu Snana is very important for Hindu religion. Rameshwara Sedu is called it is Sagara, and Sedu, the water in that area of the sea is called Sedu. After rituals and pujas and also Pidatarpanas and everything, you can do that in the Rameshwara near the temple. Then you can have a bath in the sea, especially if the husband and wife, they want to tie their clothes, their dhoti and sari. Rameshwara Sedu at least 21 times after puja and homa. If you can do this, then automatically your body and mind will get purified. So the moksha, the Pidrukal will get moksha. That means that your parents, those who died, they will get moksha. And another thing is that suppose they one couple, they have no child. Most of the Dharma Shastras suggest that go and do puja and Dambadi Snana. This will give birth to good healthy babies. According to my experience, it is very true, and you can attain babies with a good horoscope, good ayush and health. And there are some special snanas in Rameshwara. There are 21 wells, small wells, and 21 Tirtha Snana are there. Next is Dama Tirtha, next is Lakshmana Tirtha, next is Sida Tirtha, and all these snanas are helpful for moksha. Next, some of the holy rivers in India: Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Godavari, Bharatapuzha in Kerala, and all these rivers are holy rivers, and most of the rivers in India are holy rivers, and you can purify your body and mind with a snana in all these rivers. In Ayurveda, there are one treatment called Shirodhara. That means pouring medicated oils or liquids continuously for a prescribed time on forehead with a vessel, and this continues minimum 1 hour or half an hour according to the condition. And suppose you go and swim or dip in a flowing river, then almost you get the same result according to the condition. And this also help like the Sega or Pirchil effect. Sega is whole body oil pouring condition, and the same result in some specially designed condition you can expect by tirthadana or dipping in holy rivers. It also helps to normalize the hormonal imbalance, especially in diabetes. There is no need of any special medication. You advise the patients to go in the river and you take snana by dipping. So this gives the effect of the Takradhara. There is a classical book in Tamil Nadu, Tamil Sahitya, Sangakala Kriti. It is written 2000 years back, Thirukural by Thiruvalluvar. In this classical book, there is a description about the snana and also personal hygiene and also the food practice and patterns. In this book, in this occasion, I am mentioning that you cook the food from your kitchen and you take the food only from your house or kitchen maximum possible and go for defecation at least 100 meters away from your house, because the infection from your stool will not take place. Suppose you are defecating 100 meters away from your house. But nowadays we are taking bath, or doing the toileting in the bath attached rooms, and we take food from 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers away, or from a hotel with 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers away. So that is the problem nowadays we are facing. We are against the Thirukural norms and regulations. Next, Ashaujam quarantine. Usually we take 10 to 14 days after death as Ashaujam, or otherwise it is called Pula in Kerala, and we take a family quarantine. The people or the relatives of that family, they stay inside the house, never they go outside, never they make contact with other people, because this is a family quarantine and social distancing. And also after delivery, to avoid infection and problems or diseases to the mother and the babies, then they stay inside the house, never go in common public places like public town places and also temples. So they will not get any infection, and this may spread or transfer to the mother and the babies. Quarantine is also mentioned in Ayurveda in some occasions. Pranapadirodha, that means suppose a person get a deep wound and there will be chances of it coming into the Dushta Prana, that means it may develop into pus formation and complication and septicemia. In that condition, the wounded person is taken to a special kudi or a special house or hut and kept in that room. And that room was purified with medicines, sprinkling water, and also with Duma. Next is Sudiga Agara. At the time of the delivery, the lady is taken to a special house, well equipped special house, and she was stayed there until the delivery is happened. In some conditions, in the Rajasala, that means at the period of the menstruation, the 4 days, the ladies are advised to stay in a separate room or otherwise a separate house for until the 4th day of the or 5th day of the menstruation clearance. Next, Ashauja Vidhi in Dharma Shastra, after death, family quarantine. This is family quarantine. Already I told what are the procedures are telling. Every day, Tilapinda is advised. Next is the Shastika Pinda or otherwise the rice Pinda. Next is special Nana every day. They have to take bath every day 2 times with purified water or otherwise medicated water. Cover dresses and utensils with neem leaves. That is to avoid the infection. Leave the dress after the 10th day outside the village or far away from the village and destroy this either by burning or otherwise putting this in the pit and cover this with soil or mud. Next, sprinkle holy water in house after completing the 10th day or the 14th day of the Ashauja period. Purify your house and everywhere. Then do the Dhumana. Purify that whole area, your house. Next is the Dharma Shastra Vidhi Shaujana. In some lot of other occasions also, our body get impurities. Both mind and body are getting, especially when Madhya Mamsa are taken. That is not a pure Shauja. In that condition, according to Dharma Shastra, it is advised to take 1 day fasting and take very light foods and take bath morning and evening very clearly. This will purify the body of the person. Otherwise, it may lead to some problems, especially mental problems, hallucination, illusion, and manovyaba doshas. Next, suppose gold, silver, and other items are imbued. That means, suppose a person died and his ornaments, gold, silver, all these things are there. Then you have to heat it. Then only it will be purified. Otherwise, if the person died with any disease, that disease can transfer to relatives. Next, Manikyam, Maragadam, etc. or you can say that all these type of stones, that also you can purify by this keeping in mud. Next, dresses that you can wash in special liquids and decoctions, medicated decoctions, then you can purify. And cow dung water also good for cleaning this dresses. Next, vessels in you can clean by hot. Vehicles, chair, that is by prokshana, that means sprinkling water. Food grains by prokshanas, that's sprinkling water. Next, copper brass tin with tamarind water and also with after that basmas. Milk, curds, ghee, oil by heating and melting. Next, sugar by darba firing, make some fumes. You flow these fumes to the sugar. In this, next is in this step of death, there is no need of ashauja. That means in some cases there is no need of practicing the pula or the ashauja. That means 14 days you don't want to keep ashauja procedures. These are the conditions. First one is death while performing taba on hills. If a person is practicing tabas on the hill area and in between he dies, so there is no need of ashauja practice according to Dharma Shastras. Next is Dehatyaga in Agni. If a person died in Agni, in fire, then there is no need of Dharma Shastra practice. Next, death by poison intake. Suppose a person died due to internal intake of the poison. In that condition, there is no need of ashauja practice. Next by death by drowning. That means water death. There is no need of ashauja. Death in war field. If a person died in a war field, then there is no need of ashauja. Death by lightning. If a person died in lightning, then there is no need of ashauja methods. Death by Raja Dandana. It is due to the Dandana or the punishment by the Raja, then there is no need of practicing of ashauja. Next, in hanging death, then also there is no need of ashauja. Government servants in far away. If as part of the duty, a government servant in another country or another distant area, then there is no need of practicing ashauja. And in forest areas, and also in Varanasi or Kashi, then there is no need of practice the ashauja because all these things are already, because ashauja we practice to avoid the spreading of the diseases. In all the above mentioned condition, there is no need of practicing ashauja because there is no chances of infectious disease spreading. And ashauja vidhi after baby birth, care to mother and baby. And first one, Dubana. Next one, in Ayurveda classical text, you will get Vaja, placing very near to the baby. Next, Vaja or Ugragandha, and drugs like very Tishna drugs you can keep in the room. So this will avoid the bacteria and the viruses. And at the 6th day in Ayurveda, it is mentioned that the whole family members, especially the father, should be there, because that day, 6th day, there will be chances of the dropping of the umbilical cord. So there will be bleeding and infection will to get a chance of infection. So it is better to avoid 6th to practice 6th day Jagarana. Next, there are 14 types of dubas varieties in Kashya Samhita. That is, all these dubas are helpful in various different conditions and various different diseases. Special oil bath for baby and mother would help to avoid diseases and health issues. Nalpamara water snana is the best one for taking snana to avoid infections. Next is the Tribala Kashaya we can practice to avoid infections, bacteria, viruses. And copper sulfate water, Tutta, in Rasa Shastra in Ayurveda, Tutta or copper sulfate water is advised for Vrana Sodhana and protection of the wound. Next is the fumigation methods. What are the fumigation methods? A part of the purification, Karpura firing. Next is burning. Next, Gulgulu we can use. Next is Ashtagandha we can use for air purification. Sandalwood also you can burn. Next, 41, already I told 41 varieties of vartis mentioned in the Kashyapa Samhita. Already told that the Tirthadanam, relevance of the, you practice Tirthadana. Next, astrology and Snana. The body hygiene of a person is highly related with the placement of the planetary position of the Jupiter and Shukra or the Venus in your horoscope. If Jupiter is placed in the Lagna or otherwise in the 2nd and 4th or 5th, 7th, 11th, in this 5th, 11th and 7th, these areas, you can expect a good, healthy and hygiene person, especially in the Lagna, that the first zodiac. If Shukra is also placed in good, he will be very interested in Gandhamalya. That means after taking bath, he use perfumes and garlands, that means mala, flowers and everything for the purpose of the body purification. If Saturn and also other Nija planets, Lahu, Ketu and also Mars means Kuja, in your Lagna position or otherwise in the bad omen positions, so you may not get the proper, that person will not follow the snana and also personal hygiene and social hygiene. That is the relationship of the astrology and snana. Garbhani snana and Prasudiga snana is mentioned in Ayurveda. Garbhani every day with medicated water after ovulation is advised. And Prasudiga, that means after delivery, he want to take bath according to the instruction of the Vaidya or the doctor. In some conditions like Jora or excess bleeding after delivery, then it is better to keep few days, for example 6 to 7 days to stop the bleeding, then she can take the bath. So Sushruta's concept of quarantine or Ashauja period, it is that quarantine, actually it is the incubation period. What is the importance of the quarantine, or what is the necessity of the quarantine? Usually 10 to 14 days are the normally the incubation period or the bacteria and virus multiplication period, and it converts into the disease. So that period the person want to stay away from other people and socially also from other people, so we can protect other group of people. And also in Susra Samhita, you can see that Sahashayana, that means laying or sleeping with infected people, and also Sahabhojana, that means taking food, sharing food with other people. Saha Asana, that means suppose sitting together with other people in same chair or otherwise same bench or same bed or somewhere. So this also will take our chances of the diseases. Sharing of malya, vastram and lepana, that means garlands. Next is vastra, that means dress, same dress by different persons, and also lepana also may take complications or spreading of the diseases. And there are ulsavas. Usually in a temple, 10 days are for described for the ulsavas, starting from the first day to 10th day. So in these days, everybody want to attend the festival, and also there are a lot of rituals and puja vidhis. All these methods are some sort of shauja vidhi, and that is keeping the body pure and free of complications. And Aratu is the bath, combined bath of the public Janabada people staying there or living there. And also the god is also, the idol of the god or the statue of the god is taken to the river, and everybody is taking bath and purifying their body and mind. Some people say, I'm not sure, the fireworks we are using for all in various festivals, especially the Deepavali, Vishu and all type of fireworks, that also helps, I'm not sure, for disinfecting the air. Snana and sexual intercourse. According to Dharma Shastras, the couple should take bath before going to sexual intercourse. And also after intercourse, they want to take snana for body purification. Then only they will get good, healthy and with brilliant children. Otherwise, they can expect bad children with bad characters. And there are already told that some of references about the menstruation. At the period of the menstruation, shauja or hygiene should be kept, and there will be chances of getting infection. Next is Janabadom in Charaka Samhita. In Ayurveda classical text, Janabadom is mentioned, especially in the Charaka Samhita. In Janabadom, the planetary positions like Sun, Moon, Jupiter, Saturn and Mars will be in bad positions, and this indicate bad omen. At this time, area of the medicinal plants will be. So before that, the Vaidya and his assistant want to cultivate and the medicines or medicine of the plants, then keep it in your Vaidyashala. This is the purpose of the treatment. But the problem is that in Janabadodamsanya, we cannot avoid Janabadodamsanya because it is due to the planetary dearrangements or the improper placement. So in that time, soil, water, air and the kala will be polluted. This may lead to diseases. Not only one person, totally in that particular area. That means the dosha sammorchana take place entirely on that area in that Janabada. So this may lead to diseases, to different types of diseases to the complete community. Next is Kavajam in Devi Mahalmyam. Devi Mahalmyam is one of the spiritual and classical book, and in that Devi Mahalmya there are a description about the Kavaja. Kavaja means protection walls. There are different types of mantras to protect your dhanam, dhanyam, arogyam, your family members, and also your vehicle and everything. Whatever you earn, you can protect. And also there are other methods of chanting the mantras in Devi Mahalmya, that is called Kavaja. By chanting these mantras, you can protect your body from diseases also. It's like a vaccination. So by practicing this vaccination, method of chanting the mantra, you can prevent your body, your family members by getting different types of diseases. So this one to practice everybody in their life. Next, relevance of snana or quarantine, social distancing in the backdrop of the COVID-19 period. Now we are facing globally very bad situation. Globally, every country and each and every area in the earth are facing lot of problems, and this time the snana or the personal hygiene and also the social hygiene is an important factor. We have to practice this every day. We have to live in a healthy situation. In Ayurvedic text and also the Dharma Shastra books, there are very good description about the practicing of this snana or personal hygiene and also the social hygiene. By this we can corona is one of the virus, and there will be a lot of viruses and modified forms or otherwise the mutated forms of the viruses will come. There will be chances in again. So please go through these Dharma Shastra Granthas and Puranas and practice all the things mentioned in this condition. You can practice this one, so you will get long healthy life. You advise all these things. I request to the doctors who are seeing this one, you advise these methods to your patients and your friends, your family members. And at this time, I'm just adding one more thing. I'm stopping my speech. Going to stop my speech. At this time, astrologically, the Saturn is placed in Capricorn, that is Makaram Rashi in Malayalam, and Saturn is the self position, or it is the Swakshetra of the Saturn, and the Mars or Kuja is placed in this Capricorn, and it is the Ucha Kshetra or the most powerful Kshetra of the Kuja, and both the Saturn and Kuja is acting oppositely, so there will be chances of friction and diseases. Another thing is that the Jupiter, which gives hygiene and health to the people in the world, it is now placed in the Capricorn, and it is the Nija Rashi or Nija area of the Jupiter. The power of the Jupiter is 0 or minus in that area, and this will continue for another weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, and after that only the issues in the world will come down according to the astrological acharyas. And when the Jupiter is, it was actually placed in the Sagittarius, now it moved into this Capricorn, and after 1.5 months it will come, 2 months it will come back to the Sagittarius. So the problem in the world regarding this COVID and Corona will subside according to the astrological acharyas. So we have to pray to the God and go for chanting the mantras Sarve Sandhu Niramaya. That means everybody in the world should be live without diseases. I am very much thankful. Once again, I am telling, I am Dr. K.T. Vinod Krishnan, practicing in Kerala, in Palghat district, in Pattambi town. The name of my hospital is Amiya Ayurveda Nursing Home. My phone number is 944-6239-252. I am very much happy. I'm thanking you for listening my paper and presentation. Thank you everybody.